Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. As promised, I am at a new location. Today's topic is investment. Who is an investor? Are you an investor? Well, I'll try to go ahead and put some light on this topic today. Who is an investor? Who is a prospective investor? Who is a seasoned investor? Who is a person who thinks he is an investor, but he's actually just trying to go ahead and gamble a bit in the market, in the real estate market. So basically, there are four types of people who enter into a real estate market. First one are the initial investors for when any upcoming project. They invest in the upcoming project. They are the seasoned investors. They know, and their agenda is clear. They are not doubtful about their investments. All they know is that they have to put in 10, 20, 30% of the actual value of the apartment and go ahead and exit, once the RERA is received, that within a timeline of 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, whatever timeline they decide, whatever profit they are willing to fetch, depending on that. That is one category. The second one is the one who goes ahead and enters at the later stage. Let's say when the RERA is received, after that they kind of wake up and then they think, okay, this project is now legitimate and we can invest, our money is safe, and they invest at a stage of at a stage where you have to immediately pour in that 30%, 40%, and you have to be ready for the next payment as well. But yes, they do buy the things, the properties, the projects, the units at a slightly higher price than the initial investors. Let's say 2,000, 3,000 rupees per square feet higher, but then they still know that they can bag a profit. They can easily bag a profit. And then they also have a longer wait period to liquidate that property. For example, around 1.5 years, 2 years. The third category are the people who actually come up at a later stage. When they see the market, they are regularly checking the market. They are seeing that yes, there's a market, the market is growing, booming, yes, the prices are increasing. They are waiting patiently and also sometimes impatiently that the market might come down, the price might come down of the particular apartment project that they like, that they want to invest in. But once that doesn't happen, and then they see that things are very haphazard, things are fast, things are moving very fast, much faster than they anticipated, they go ahead and they buy a unit. For example, any project on Dwarka Expressway, let's say Hero Homes. So the third category is entering at the stage where 50% payments of the particular apartment is already done, and very less time is left for the possessions. Let's say 6 months are left, so the remaining 50 have to be cleared in the next 6 months or so for phase 1, and they have a shorter window. These investors have a shorter window, so the remaining 50 have to be cleared in the next 6 months or so for phase 1, and they have a shorter window. These investors have a shorter window to encash their investments and cash profits. They have a 6-month window, 4-month window, 5-month window. Also, there are a couple of people who would, very few, let's say 10% of the total investors, starting from the first stage investor to the third stage investor. Hardly 10% people are there who are more than willing to just wait till the final call, till the time they have to go ahead and get the possessions done and get the registration also done under their name, and then later on go ahead and sell it at a later date, speculating a much higher return than what the people would initially bag, which they do definitely, but it all depends on the market, you see. So the fourth category is an end user investor, who is also an investor but is taking the unit for their own personal use, maybe as an extra property, or maybe they want to live in that property. They come at a much later stage, or even they come at this third stage, but then they when half of the payments are done for the project, the builder has received half of the payments, these end users also are looking for things, but they are waiting, they are expecting that maybe they'll get a better deal, they'll get a better price, but eventually they lose out on that. and end up buying a much more expensive unit than what they had expected to buy at. So this is one. Now, who is an investor in today's market? Who is a real investor? The real investor is not a person who has 25% or 30% money of the entire unit price and wishes to put that money up, and then later on thinks that since the market is gambling, I'll also go ahead and do that and I'll make some profit and exit. Because what happens is that if you choose a property, let's say it will cost you 2 crore and you have like 50-70 lakh rupees at hand, and you don't have any further contingency plan to go ahead and make the entire payments if at all the situation calls for it, then in that case make the entire payments if at all the situation calls for it, then in that case what happens is that you end up losing your money. You end up losing money in terms of profits plus also the principal. Because let's say I have 2 crore, I don't have 2 crore, but I'm buying a unit for 2 crore. I'm spending just 70 lakhs 80 lakhs right now, but I don't have any opportunity or any arrangement to pay the remaining amount when it is due, and I'm thinking that I'll go ahead and sell my unit at an X price profit, but I'm unable to do so for any reason whatsoever. In that case, what would happen is that either I'll go ahead and lose my profits. If the property will be very much in demand in the market, then yes, there'll be people who would buy the same unit from me for just like, let's say 3, 4, 5 lakh rupees profit, and then they'll buy it from me. Or I'll have to go ahead and surrender the unit if it was a first purchase from the builder. In case I surrender my unit, I get my unit cancelled, the builder will go ahead and easily deduct 10 to 15% of my initial investment of 50-70 lakhs, whatever I had paid till date. So people who have a backup to pay for the entire unit, the one that they like, whether it's a 5 crore rupee apartment, it's a 7 crore rupee apartment, it's a 1 crore rupee apartment, they should go ahead and invest and become an investor, prospective investor, only when they have that kind of backup money. You should not go ahead and put your money at stake like this when you don't have any backup, and then you're simply going by the hypothesis of it, but just by the gut feeling and also just by the greed of making other people looking at other people making money. That's not how it works actually. So the actual investors are the ones who have that kind of money. They know that if at all they fail to sell their unit in the speculated time, they will be able to keep it. They'll be able to make full payments and then keep the unit for a while, and then later on dispose it at a later date. So that's that, right? So this was one of the topics which I wanted to cover. Tomorrow I'll make a new video. I'll cover up more topics. I'll cover up projects, which project to buy, what is the pro and con of a project on Dwarka Expressway, and at what stage it is now, what is my speculative reading, what is my expectation, out of my experience, what do I think, where will the price go, whether it will go 10% ahead or 50% ahead of what its market price is now or not, and whether you should do that, buy that or not. So that is something that will start from tomorrow, and as always, I'm always open for questions on the table. You can always come back to me, DM me, and I'll be more than happy to answer you in the next 24 hours of receiving the message. So thank you. I hope you enjoyed this view. It's a nice view, greenery. Have a nice day. Bye for now.